Welcome to Cizzles, the only place to ingest the latest in technology for higher education and related services. I'm Christine Parsons, and I'd like to start by introducing our guest chef, Dr. Katie Zimmerman. Dr. Zimmerman is an assistant professor in the Department of Special Education at the University of Kansas and director of the Early Childhood Institute at the Kansas University Center on Developmental Disabilities. Katie is a co-PI for CIDDL also and focuses on supporting the early intervention and early childhood special education community. Katie's work focuses on engagement interventions for young children with behavioral support needs, often incorporating technology into interventions to support students' preferences in intervention materials. Dr. Zimmerman, welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, we're so happy to have you here. So why don't you tell us what you're going to be doing for us tonight?
Sure. So we are going to quickly prep Sandy's ham biscuits. This is a big staple in my family. I'm from Appalachian, Virginia. So we like ways to use leftovers that are quick and easy for when guests show up at your house. And then we're going to access a website that I fluently use in my teaching, the evidence-based instructional practices for young children with autism and developmental disabilities, or EDID.
Cool. So they're Sandy's biscuits. Are these a family recipe?
They are. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. You guys have the recipe. I've melted some butter and thrown in the poppy seeds. I'm going to put the last bit of ham on. So this is my mom's recipe. We typically have ham for holidays, and so we do this with leftovers. However, today I'm just using some deli meat, which I affectionately call slick meat because it's like on my hands. And so you put a couple pieces on each biscuit. These are King's Hawaiian sweet rolls that I just buy at the grocery store.
Those are one of my favorites.
Yeah, as someone who doesn't really cook a lot, it's a lot of bang for my buck with minimal preparation. So I'm going to be really kind and gracious with my big tablespoon of butter and poppy seed mixture on each of the top of the biscuits. So all my biscuits are ready and prepped to go in the oven. We're going to put them in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes while I show you the EBIT.
Oh, I wish we could be there to smell. I'm sure that those are going to be really smelling very good in a few minutes.
They should be, hopefully, if I've done it right. I guess we're going to find out.
Okay. So we'll keep an eye on those. So you wanted to show us a website.
I did. I want to show you the EBIP website. And so I think
what does EBIP stand for?
So it's evidence-based instructional practices. And so it's this great resource and website that we need to credit Dr. Jennifer Ledford at Vanderbilt University for creating along with her team. And it's a website that I highly recommend early intervention, early childhood special education, even our related service providers. So our occupational therapy training programs, our speech and language training programs, our applied behavior analysis training programs. They're effective ways to teach a variety of skills to all children. Despite it saying young children, which you're going to see in just a minute, it's going to help children and individuals of all ages.
Great. All right. Well, let's pull up the website and you can take us through what you'd like us to see.
All right. So here's the first instructional page for EBIP. You'll notice that there's a large navigation window here at the top. And under each of these categories, there are multiple pages to choose from. We're only going to look at 2 of them today. So I want to orient you to the website. First, we have our navigation bar here on the top. And then I want to also have you note the other resources that are available here on the right-hand side. We're going to go back to one of those at the very end. So each page of this website has a heading or a category. You'll see those headings in a different colored text. In this case, it is green. Your screen readers should also be able to pick those up as headings. And then as you scroll down each page, it tells you a little bit about the content on the page. It gives you links that are available. And then at the end, it cites and connects to peer-reviewed resources. So the first thing we're going to look at today are errorless prompting procedures. So I'm going to select the Prompting Procedures tab and click on Progressive Time Delay. So the reason why I like to use EBIP in my teaching is that each instructional practice on this website is evidence-based, as the name mentioned, but it also includes multiple representations of the practice. There's always a video model. It often is a video model with a child and with an adult confederate, so you can see the practice in real life, and then you can see the practice a little bit slower and cleaner. It also includes images of what the instructional setup will look like. It gives you bullet point steps of the fidelity of the procedure, and the procedure is represented in flow diagrams that help you make decisions about what steps you should use.
It looks like it's very designed in a very universal design for learning method, that there's a lot of different ways to find the same information.
There is. And I know that for me, with my teaching, when I'm teaching my pre-service teachers, I'm going to scroll to the front as I talk because we're going to look at one of these videos. I really struggle with finding good models or exemplars. I have some students who really prefer the flowchart and they want to be able to go through step by step or behavior by behavior in order to see the practice implemented correctly so that they can then practice within my classroom at KU and then within their classrooms. I have some students who prefer the bulleted list because watching the practice live in the moment is too fast and they want to be able to do a checklist type manual to check off each step. And then I have other students who are similar to me who prefer to see a practice in action. So again, the beauty of eBIP is that this is all freely accessible. It's all based in evidence, and all of the videos connect to YouTube, so we can use our captioning features as well. So Christine, you ready to check out this video?
I'm ready.
So the beauty of these videos is that we get to see the title of the procedure, and then these procedures, like I said, can be used to teach a variety of skills. So we're going to see how to use progressive time delay or an errorless learning procedure with picture cards.
Show me cow. Good job, that's a cow. Show me eggs. Amazing, that's right, those are eggs. Show me fork. Fork. Show me lamp. Amazing, that's a lamp.
So you'll notice in this example, it's pretty robotic. It's not really representative of what we may necessarily see with a student. That's on purpose. These are instructional videos that you can use in your teaching when you're training future teachers or occupational therapists or speech therapists. Remember, there are videos with actual children in instructional settings also available. So within each instructional video, they'll show you how trials look like at each stage of the procedure. So I'm going to show you how we can see those transitions in the videos for just a second.
Show me horse. Awesome job, that's a horse. Show me fork. Way to go, that's a fork. Show me eggs. Amazing, those are eggs. Show me umbrella. Umbrella.
Okay, so Christine, as we're moving to a different feature of the website, the other beauty of these model-based videos is that they show all possible learner responses. So when I'm teaching, I don't have to try to come up with it and record it on my own and then have it for students to access when they leave my class. I can go directly to this website and students have lifelong opportunities to train other instructional staff they work with and the settings that they go to after they leave me at KU.
That's excellent. There's a lot of information there, and it looks very organized and well presented.
Yeah, I really like it just because it's easy to see. And for my students, they don't have to remember how to navigate the website. It's there, it's explicit, the headings are there. And then when they go to teach other individuals, like I said, they have video models ready to go.
And I bet it's great for their students too, for a review of some things that they may have missed during lectures.
Exactly, it's timestamped. So I can go in and when I have students engage in these procedures live with me or with an adult confederate practicing and then with an actual student, I can send them back to this website and say, hey, check out the error correction procedure at second 47. This is what I want you to practice when I see you at your next observation.
Excellent. What else would you like to show us?
Okay, the last thing that I want to show you is our information on types or ways to assess preference and reinforcement. And we're going to check out one of the preference assessments. While this pulls up, I'm going to check the ham biscuits because they're starting to smell good. We've probably got another minute on those. Okay, so there are multiple types of preference assessments. And so when I click on that navigation, I can see that this particular website goes over the 5 main evidence-based preference assessments. I'm just going to show you one as a demonstration, but again, this is all freely accessible. So this preference assessment that we're looking at is a multiple stimulus without replacement. And the whole goal is to figure out, what do kids like? If kids need explicit support in having things that are valuable or motivational or reinforcing, particularly young children, we can start with a variety of different stimuli that they can, quote, work for. Now, this doesn't mean that this individual child is sitting at a table all day. This is simply a way to pull a student out and get an assessment of their preferences so that then you can incorporate it into their instructional environment. So as I said earlier, there are examples with adults and then there are examples with children. For this particular preference assessment, you want to assess preferences based on the type of item. So there's an example of how you do it with food, how you would do it with toys. And then just like in the prompting procedures example, it's going to show you, how do you move the items? How do you collect data? How do you analyze the data? And so on this particular page, I want to highlight for you the data sheets. For me, when I'm trying to set up an instructional opportunity in my classroom at KU, I want to show students video models. I want them to have those models available when they leave me. And then I want them to have data sheets that support the evidence-based practice. And all of these data sheets are freely accessible here on the EBEP website.
So they get the actual sheets that they would be using during their assessments.
Exactly. And not only do they get them, but they can take them into their classrooms or into their student teaching or practicum placements so that they're able to use them immediately after I teach the procedure instead of having to wait until they have the time to create it for their own classroom.
Wow, that's really useful. I know of a couple other courses I would like to see websites designed in this similar manner.
And so the beauty, once this website's been around for a couple of years, is that they realized that a lot of folks wanted to see the video models and then wanted to see the data collection sheets. So every data collection form that is freely available on EBEP is listed in this right-hand navigation panel. They're all labeled and here for anyone to use. And then there are videos and model supports and flow charts or bulleted lists that go with each of these data sheets so that you feel comfortable and confident in how to implement these procedures.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm going to put the link in the chat so that all of our viewers can access the link to be able to go directly to the website. It just seems like a really useful resource, not only for this particular subject, but as a model of design for any course to be able to include information in a logical manner. I really like it.
I think that's one of the reasons why I picked this website. It's one that I use across all my courses, but it's also a really good example of the pedagogy of incorporating technology. I think a lot of the times we think we have to incorporate a tool, and if I just use this technology tool enough, then I'm incorporating technology sufficiently and I'm able to meet the needs of students. But what this website is also a model of, as you mentioned, Christine, is that there are predictable formats to how information is presented on each web page, how your user navigates each web page, and then how your user seeks information and then can analyze their own learning or take it into the next step and generalize it into their practice. So when I'm trying to create my Google site or my Canvas site or my Blackboard site, I can follow something that's predictable and similar to how the EBEP website is set up.
That's excellent. Is there anything else on the site that you wanted to show us?
There's one more thing I want to show you guys first, though, that the hand biscuits are ready. You got to let them cool for a second so they don't burn your fingers.
That
but
was
if you're trying to cook along at home, it's a quick, easy recipe. So for our viewers who are teaching occupational therapists or speech therapists or early intervention or even secondary teachers, those folks may also be conducting research. And so a beautiful tool that Dr. Ledford created that I supported her in, emphasis on the word support, was a single case analysis and review framework. And so Dr. Ledford has created a way to analyze the quality and rigor and the outcomes of single case design research studies in order to look at bodies of literature that are meaningful to you as the viewer, that are showing their evidence through single case design research. So you can identify evidence-based instructional practices using this SCARF tool. And so there's information about how to use the tool here on the website, about how the quality and rigor of articles are measured, about how the data are presented. And then there are also information about additional published studies that have used the SCARF so that you can see some of those and make them available for you. And there are links to open science or free resources. Additionally, any of the authors on the scarf are happy to support other researchers in accessing it, and information can easily be found here in the upper right-hand corner to access Dr. Ledford and her team.
So this is really a one-stop shop. I think that teachers, pre-service teachers would be interested in this, related services would be interested in this website, and also researchers and higher ed faculty would be interested in using this website. Am I correct? Am I missing anybody?
No, I think you agree. So just for an example, we look at the communication skills. There are all sorts of strategies, AAC. So let's say I have a student, it could be a middle schooler, it could be a preschooler who's using augmentative and alternative communication. And maybe I am a speech language pathologist and I want to be able to tell my pre-service speech language pathologists, students, how do you talk to someone else about AAC? I could send them to the eBook website and share this as a resource that's family friendly, that's educator or paraprofessional friendly. And then as that speech and language faculty member, I could support my student in knowing how do I need to enhance or explain the decision making around device selection or device incorporation once I've got that baseline level of knowledge for my other providers and also for the families with whom I partner.
That's excellent. Any other final remarks on the website?
I think Dr. Ledford designed it for it to be used in higher education and then for students to be able to carry it with them into their practice. So we are excited to highlight it here with CIDDL, and we hope that other folks find it useful in their practice as well.
Thank you very much. That was really interesting. I was interested in finding out more about how you were going to highlight like a specific website as a piece of technology, but now I can see clearly that it hits all of our goals in terms of UDL, providing a lot of information to a number of different people, and providing a model of what an excellent example of creating a website or a course or presentation material is. So thank you for that. Now, here comes the good part. How does this relate to your ham sandwiches?
Okay, so here's a completed ham sandwich.
Looks delicious.
It's small, it's quick, and it's easy. And the way that they're related is that for me, as someone who has to train teachers and collaborate with teachers and support teachers and also has to do research, I need resources that I can trust, that are quick, that are easy, and that are reliable. As I mentioned before, I'm a terrible cook, so my ham biscuit recipe is quick and reliable. And when I'm in a pinch or when I know that I need to model something and support a student, eBIP is my good old reliable as well.
Well, then you convinced me. That's excellent. I do want to make sure that before you taste your ham sandwich that you use some ham sanitizer to make sure that your hands are clean. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Zimmerman. This was really educational, and that website is a place that I'm going to go check out some more information on. For our viewers, don't forget to go to our website, CIDDL.org, and vote or rate Dr. Zimmerman, rate her highly, and make sure that you take a look at some of the other videos that we have. We're about halfway through our season for CIDDL Cizzles. So November will be when we will have our cook-off, so I'm sure Katie will be there. If you're interested in finding out more information about CIDDL Cizzles, please check us out on our website at CIDDL.org. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Zimmerman, and we hope to see you all soon.